Hailey Bieber has revealed that helping her husband Justin Bieber navigate his sobriety has been extremely difficult because it brought back memories of watching her father struggle with alcohol and drug addiction. Let's take a look at it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. For this video, we're going to talk about how Hailey Bieber addresses difficulties in dealing with Justin Bieber's sobriety. But before anything else, please leave a like on the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell below so you won't miss our videos. Without further ado, let's hop on right to the video. The last few years have been full of recovery for Justin, who has recently tried to reclaim himself after a string of bad publicity. Hailey, being a wife to Justin, made sure that she will be there in support of her struggling husband. But she never denied the fact that it was very hard for her as well. The 24-year-old model spoke on the Victoria's Secret Voices podcast about how she was able to help Justin on his journey with sobriety, but that it meant having to go to some dark spaces since Hailey's father, Stephen Baldwin, previously struggled with cocaine addiction. Hailey told the podcast, "There's a lot of addiction that runs in my family, not even just my dad, but a lot of other people on that side of my family struggle with a lot of different things," she then added. He was just always extremely open about why being sober was what worked for him and why we needed to be sober and what alcoholic behavior looks like and where that comes out. Hailey said her father had problems specifically with cocaine, adding, "Looking back on times of drug use and being in some dark spaces and having to kind of go back there and talk about it was extremely difficult." Talking about her experience with it, "I was never somebody who struggled with any substances, but that's because I was so aware of it because of my dad. I was like, I'm never trying cocaine because I'm just so scared that if I try it one time, it might lead into something else." After the couple wed in 2018, Vogue described Hailey as being convinced of her genetic vulnerability to addiction. In Victoria's Secret podcast, Hailey said she had to have an open dialogue with Justin in order to support his sobriety. She said, being like, "Hey, where are you with this? I've had times where I would get nervous asking Justin, are you okay to do this? Because you did have a time in your life where it was not okay for you and it was a very dark time for you," she then added. But he has a very good self-awareness when it comes to that and he's very open about it, and that's all I can really ask. In an interview with GQ magazine earlier this year, Justin described creating memories in his marriage to Hailey as something beautiful that they have, he said. "Before, I didn't have that to look forward to in my life," he said. "My home life was unstable, like my home life was not existing. I didn't have a significant other. I didn't have somebody to love. I didn't have someone to pour into, but now I have that." Justin is also very open about his recovery process. It's no secret that Justin was openly struggling for a period of time. Between peeing in a restaurant mop bucket, getting a DUI for a drag racing while under the influence, and egging his neighbour's house, Justin was clearly struggling personally. He opted to take a hiatus after receiving a barrage of bad press in the run-up to the release of his album Purpose. Justin talks a little about his time off in his interview with Vogue, how he made his decision to turn his life around after being in a pretty dark place. "It got pretty dark," Justin told the outlet. "I think there were times when my security was coming in late at night to check my pulse to see if I was still breathing. At that time, Justin admitted that he was using Xanax and alcohol heavily, leading to his various poor life choices. I found myself doing things that I was so ashamed of, being super promiscuous and stuff." He said, "I think I used Xanax because I was so ashamed. My mum always said to treat women with respect. For me, that was always in my head while I was doing it, so I could never enjoy it. Drugs put a screen between me and what I was doing." Rather than going to a rehab clinic like the majority of celebrities who struggle with addiction, Justin chose to cope with his addiction in a more private manner. Instead, Justin's pastor, Carl Lentz, advised that he invite Justin to live with him in his home for an informal recovery process, which Justin did. According to the interview, Justin lived with his pastor in 2014 while detoxing from Xanax, and Carl kept his mind occupied by playing various sports with him. "I'm really proud of him," Justin's wife said in the interview. To do it without a program and to stick with it without a sober coach or AA or classes, I think it's extraordinary. He is in ways a walking miracle. Clearly, Justin is a rare case of someone being able to cope without the formal help most people need, but still significant nonetheless. He also says that he hasn't used Xanax since then, but still drinks socially. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any future content we'll produce for you guys. We're signing off now, but we will be sure to catch you all in the next one.